Yes, so welcome back to another video. Guys, today is Friday and I'm making this video to actually conclude the week. This week has been the worst or one of the worst week in my trading, and you will find out later in this video. My intention coming into this week was just simple, because last week I closed the week in profit and I also had just one trading day left to complete the 3 minimum trading days that I need to complete before I can request for payout. And coming into this week, I was just focused and trying to get that 0.5% profit this week, then request for payout. But everything went wrong and it was just my fault. And I'm going to break everything down so that you understand why this week is one of the worst week in my trading. This week I took about 4 trades, 3 were losers. 3 were losers, 1 a very big loser, and I have 1 running. The account is not in panic mode or the account is not in danger, but I just lost all my profits. So the payout that I'm supposed to get has just been shifted forward. Like the goalpost has been extended. That is bad for me, and it's actually affected me in so many ways. I'm going to take you to my journal to show you the trades I took, and then to TradingView to show you why I took those trades. Let's go. So guys, this is my trading journal, and you can see that everywhere is just reddish. You can see that I took from the 13th of January, I took 1, 2, 3, 4 trades, as I said earlier. And you can see anywhere you see a red background is a losing trade. From 13 to 14 are all losers. Let's go to the calendar view so that I will show you the trades in particular. So this is the Euro AUD trade that I took. So this is one of the screenshots. This is on the daily time frame. The fair value gap that I took the trade from. Then this was the 4-hour time frame that I took the trade from. So this is like the confirmation. This fair value gap is like the confirmation, and I took my entry targeting this low. And as you can see, price did actually get to profit at some point, then reversed and took me out of the trade. So this is how I lost this particular trade. The next one is the next trade is SAU USD, which is gold. So I took the trade from this fair value gap after we failed to mitigate this fair value gap, and we pushed up closing above this high with this fair value gap. So I took a long position here and we hit stop loss on this one. This trade was actually a 0.25% risk. I was actually risking below $30 on this one. And the big elephant is this USD JPY that took everything. This is a risk on this trade, 1.5%. But hold on, this was not the intention. I'm going to explain everything when we get to trading view. So this was the initial intention of this trade. This was the initial risk, about $26 here. This chart you are seeing on the right side is DXY. I was using this to gauge what this should do, and you can see that we have a fair value gap on the weekly time frame above market level, and we have a fair value gap on the daily time frame, on the 4-hour time frame here, and price did actually trigger this, and that was why I took this position. And as you can see, Bob is your uncle. This took out every single profit I've made. Then on Thursday, I took this GBP USD trade, and this is the one I'm holding. The risk on this one is 0.6%, and this is why I took this trade. You can see on the daily time frame, we took out this high and we closed below these lows. We have a fair value gap which price mitigated, and we start to run lower, and we have a weekly fair value gap here, which to me is the draw that we should be targeting. So with that in mind, all I need to do is to go down to the 4-hour time frame where I will look for entry. And on the 4-hour time frame, you can see the daily fair value gap we mitigated dropped heavily and created another fair value gap on the 4-hour time frame. So this fair value gap acts as the confirmation that we are going to roll lower. And as you can see, I was a little bit late to the party, and this is where I took the position, targeting this weekly fair value gap. This is going to be a swing trading idea. So let's see how the trade is going to go. So if we go to trading view to really look at these trades, you can see starting from SAU USD, you can see that we actually took out. Let me enlarge this so that you guys will see. You can see from here, from here we took out this swing low and we push up, created this fair value gap here, which price thereafter came into to mitigate it. And you can see this bearish candle did actually mitigate the fair value gap and showed respect to it. And when I saw this, I thought to myself, okay, price might actually move higher from here since gold has been bullish for quite some time. And I took a minimal risk covering this low and targeting this high. But you can see this is the current price action. Price has been wandering around this level. I don't know if we are going to roll lower or rally up. So this was the idea behind the SAU USD trade that I took. So let's go to Euro AUD. Last week, Euro AUD did me dirty, and this week, again, it repeated the same thing. So last week, I was actually shorting Euro AUD from this price level here. From this fair value gap, I took a short position that ended up in a loss. And this week again, when I saw that price is like continuing the bearish momentum, I took another trade from this fair value gap just to roll lower to this swing low or sell side liquidity. But as you can see, after I took the position, price did actually came lower, put me in some profit, and thereafter took to its heel to the upside and actually stopped me out above this swing high here. And you can see price actually went higher than that. At this point, I was thinking, okay, we have a breakaway gap here. Price might as well come into this breakaway gap before rolling lower. But that is not the case. On Thursday, I actually saw this massive drop to the downside. You can see how we are dropping, but price is failing to take out this swing low and this swing low down here too. So if we come up to this level or create a daily fair value gap, then we might actually have an opportunity coming next week to actually use that daily fair value gap to roll to the downside. So the big elephant in the room is the USD JPY. So for this trade, this was the idea. When I came to the chart, I saw price had already mitigated this level. I know we have this weekly fair value gap that price is currently inside, and we saw this price movement mitigate this fair value gap and roll up. So when I came to the chart, I saw this weak rejection here. You can see how price took out the low of this bullish candle and created this massive wick, which is like a doji. So at this point, I was okay. What can I use as a confirmation to take a buy position or a long position on this asset? I went to the DXY. Since we are bullish on USD JPY, the DXY should give us a clue of what we might expect in the near future. So coming into DXY, I saw this price run up and we failed to take out this swing high after we had this mitigation of this daily fair value gap. Price created this price movement and a fair value gap here. Then we had a mitigation into this fair value gap. When I saw this candle, bearish candle that mitigated this fair value gap was the live candle as at when I took that position. When I saw this, I said, okay, we are having liquidity here and liquidity here with an imbalance above this liquidity. This is going to be a key area and I know price is going to target that level. So what I did was to take a minimal risk on USD JPY. So since you already know the idea behind that trade, let me just go back to USD JPY. So I decided to take a minimal risk on USD JPY. This was that candle here. After the candle closed, I took a buy position here. The intention was, if price invalidates this weak rejection here, I know the illustration and the idea on USD JPY is not actually my strategy. But if you go to DXY footprint is actually what I trade. So I was using DXY as a yardstick to measure what USD JPY should do. So with that in mind, I took that position at the close of this weak rejection and I was covering this low as a risk. So price did actually start to roll lower and we did actually came down to this level. At this point, I did not have a stop loss placed. I was just monitoring the chassis. If we come closer to this swing low or the low of that weak rejection, I might actually close the chart. So when price came lower to this place, I hesitated and I did not close the chart. I was on my bed relaxing. Then all of a sudden, I went into a deep sleep. Boy, oh boy. When I woke up from the sleep, price was already here. And looking at my NT5, I was down 140 something dollars. That was bullshit. I was in shock. Bro, I was in shock, to be sincere. So at this point, I was thinking, price has taken away all the profit. If we get a retracement, I'm going to take some percentage off to reduce the risk. Then if we get retracement back to the upside or continuation to the upside, then I'll just take that as the reward. But that did not happen. And when we got this candle moving up, I was okay. We are going to actually get that off the table. And thereafter, look at this. Price took out this swing high, the high of this 4-hour candle, and look at the rejection. At this point, I said, okay, if we are getting this rejection, then price is likely going to roll down to the downside. And I closed the full trade at 140 something dollars in loss, and private actually came back into this fair value gap, and you can see that we are rolling down. So this is the tragic story behind the big elephant in the room that took away all my profit. So that Thursday, I actually saw another setup on GBP USD. GBP USD. GBP USD. You can see on the daily time frame, price took out this swing high, dropped lower here, created a fair value gap. You can see how price came into it, then roll lower. So going down to the 4-hour time frame, after price mitigated this daily fair value gap, created this 4-hour fair value gap as confirmation of the market intention, then we had this retracement or mitigation of this 4-hour fair value gap, and price started to roll lower. I was late to the party though, so when I came to the chart, I saw this price movement coming down here, and I took that position with this in mind, that we are confirming the downward movement of GBP USD. So this trade, I'm still holding this trade. So this is the trade I took this week, and the idea behind the trade, and boy oh boy, this week was hell in a cell. Boy oh boy. Did you hear the story? Guys, when I woke up from the sleep and I saw that amount of loss, I just looked at the balance and I saw that all the profit I made all gone. Like, the way I felt, like the psychological battle, so many things were just going on in my head. I was like regretting. I was like, is this actually going to work? Like, you know, that kind of stuff. You start to feel somehow, you start to doubt. But at the end, I said, okay, this is the profit I made. So it's not actually my money. So it is their profit. So if I can make that profit, then I have the ability to make another profit, not making back the one I lost, because that is revenge trading, making another profit. And I knew it is possible for me to do that. So I just decided to take it with a pinch of salt. Then I let everything go. So the psychological battle was there. I did actually struggle to accept the fact that I lost that amount of money. But it is not new, but it is new because my risk, my strategy, plans, and everything does not permit that kind of loss. So it is out of the ordinary. I'm not supposed to take that kind of loss. So it's kind of an alien to my strategy. So the psychological battle was there. I did suffer a lot, and I've decided to move on. Next week might be better. What if next week I take a trade and make $500? Okay, you think it's not possible? Bro, it is possible. It is possible. What if I just take a trade and down $500 in a bag? That would be actually insane. But I still have that two trading days, so I just have only one left. So if I am able to make a profit of $100 in a single day, then the challenge is done. This is not actually a challenge, but I will be able to request for payout. So the lessons I learned this week is, you see that momentary shift. That momentary shift can actually change everything. Like that single moment that you just switch off can actually change everything. And this is exactly what happened. The little sleep that just took me and I came back, bam. So I learned to always put all the parameters of the trade setup in place before I can decide to do whatever I want to do. Put the take profit, put the stop loss and everything before I can do whatever, because you don't know what might happen. Sometimes you will take a trade before you put take profit or stop loss, the network is gone. Then you start to suffer. This has happened to me severally when I want to trade the NFP, when I used to trade NFP independently. Sometimes I would take a trade and network is gone. I used to be like, the network provider connive with the broker to actually take away the network so that the money will just go. And when you come back, you can see that you are already in red. Bro, that used to be epic. That used to be epic, bro. But I've learned not to relent, and I've also learned to actually put every parameter that I need to put in a trade before I can just go do something else. That is very, very key. Okay, guys, this is the background work I've been doing. So this year I want to have so much discipline and control over my trading. So if you look at my journal here, I think previously I showed you guys my modified trading strategy that has psychological playbook to it. That is what I'm going to use this year. And I have also made some tools that I'm going to use this year also. So I have this trading journal. I've actually shown you guys this trading journal. So for some of you that have not seen this trading journal, so this is the trading journal. This is the calendar view of the trading journal. So I'm just going to open one for you to see. So this is a calendar view of my trading journal. So you can see what I have inside. So from the calendar view, you can actually see all the parameters of the trading setup. Then this is the table view of the journal. This is a table view of the journal. You can actually see everything here also. So apart from this trading journal, I also have a playbook. So this is like a gallery where I'm going to display all the trades I take. So when the trade concludes, I'm going to post it here with the parameters. So this is an example. Let me open this one. You can see I've not actually put anything, but this is just like a sample. The playbook, I'm going to put the trade idea or the entry type, which is like a fair value gap or a precision gap. Then the rating, I'm going to actually rate the trade 1/10, 7/10. For instance, let me change this rating. You are going to see the ring is going to actually adjust. let me put 9. When I enter, can you see that 9/10? You see the ring adjusted. So the outcome is also going to be there. If it is winning, you are. If it is red, you have it there. So this is the playbook that I'm going to use to collect all the trade setup that I'm going to take this year. So from that again, I have this one that I call the Trade Manager Checklist 2026. So this one is like going to be the game changer. You can see it's a checklist. Before a trade is going to be taken, I'm actually going to complete this form. So this is like a questionnaire that I need to answer before I can hop in on a trade or hop in a trade. You can see you have market structure, dealing range, high time frame fair value gap, market intention, confirmation, classify entry, trade risk, trade reward, and entry. So I'm going to answer all of this before I take a trade. This is a reusable checklist. You can see if I toggle all of this on, then after the trade, then what I'm going to do, if I want to reuse it, all I need to do is just to click this reset. As you can see, everything is back to normal. Then I can use it for another setup. So this is actually to add additional layer of filter to my trading. I do not want my trading to be based on emotion or my instinct. What I want to have is a mechanical strategy or system. Let me not call it strategy. A mechanical system that allows me to use set of rules to take a trade, not just based on what I feel about the trade. So moving forward, I want to use this system to actually get my entries and take a trade. So I can actually reduce that human error and psychological mistake that I often make. So this is going to be like the game changer if I implement it very well. Implementing this is going to need additional discipline to actually work towards this and use it to my advantage. So guys, for me, the plans moving forward is, we learn every day. Each trading day is like an eye-opener. You learn from your mistakes, and I've learned the hard way. So the plan moving forward is actually to put my system, not just the strategy, the whole system, put it into good use, stay true to them with so much discipline, and apply them when necessary. This year, I do not want to be erratic with my trading. I want to make every decision in line with my system. I do not want to trade with so much emotion or use my own idea alone. Since I have a trading system, I want the system to be the decider of a trade setup. So before I take a trade, I want to go through the system and allow the system to show me or tell me if that trade is worth taking. If not, then I just let it go. So to actually bring out the best of my trading, I need to use the system that I've put out and allow them to filter the trades that I should take. So finally, I'm going to show you the P&L for the week, the trade that I'm holding, and the overall account status. So we still have a lot of work to do. Someone may say, you already passed the phase 1 and phase 2. You only need to make profit and take the payout. Yes, that is true, but it is not over, because, for instance, phase 1 is easy to pass, but the parameters of phase 1 is very, very high compared to that of phase 2. But why is it that people fail phase 2 more than they fail phase 1? You see, that is psychological issue, because you would think that, okay, phase 2 is easy, I'm going to crush it, but that is where you fail. The same is true for funded stage. Don't think it is over. It is not over. You have to put your A game on. So far, if not for this mistake, I think I've been trading this account religiously, and I've been trading it with so much discipline, and having this kind of loss is just mind-boggling. And thank God the account is not gone. The account is still intact. All I need to do is to continue trading with so much discipline and my strategy. So this is the end of the video. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please make sure you subscribe, hit the bell button so that you get notified whenever I release a video. And please do not forget to leave your words of encouragement in the comment section and tell me what you think about my video. See you next week. Bye.